Good morning, Belton High School. My name is Catherine Eager, and you're watching Cutlass TV News. Many seniors are deciding what to do after graduation, and BHS offers support to help make that decision. Here's more on what's available to seniors by America's Counts, Brittany Jackson, and Tyler Fulton.
Whether a senior chose virtual or in person, all can receive support from Ms. Slinker, the College and Career Advisor.
So right now I'm working virtually due to restrictions from Missouri College Advising Corps, but I've been reaching out to students and setting up appointments that way, or they can reach out to me over email and then we can schedule something. So for students who are virtual, we can Zoom at any time that works with their class schedule, and students that are in the building, they will come down to the Academy's office and we'll set up a time for them to come down there. They'll come down there, Zoom with me like normal, and then go back to their class. I help students get on the path to college or a career. So they'll come to me either during their junior or senior year most of the time, and then ask me ways that they can plan for their future. So I help get them into contact with different colleges or get them into contact with different workforce areas around the city. And then we just go from there. We just go where the student wants to go, and I just help them get there.
Senior Ike Irvin explains his process for choosing the college that's right for him.
So for me, I'm not in Texas yet, but I want to go down to Texas for school, specifically University of Austin. But for me, it was, like I said, weather and school, but it's also for me, the business program is a really high, it's top 5 business program, which is what I want to do. So if I'm going to go out of state and pay extra, I want to make my money's worth, and so I'm going to go to a top business school where I feel like I'm going to get ahead from going there compared to a smaller school or school in state where I wouldn't be able to get my needs and as much curriculum that I feel like really benefits me. So what I did is I looked up top business schools in the country was one of the things I did, and then I obviously went through whether school size, financial, what my scores are and what everyone's scores would be, and check which ones would be the best for me. And then a lot of times I've heard that you should pick like when you apply, you should pick one that you know you can get into, one that you want to get into, and then one that's like a reach. Where it's like, I'm going to reach for this one, and maybe I'll get in, it's a smaller chance, but just in case you get in, you do that. So that's what some advice I got too from that.
With America's Counts and Brittany Jackson, I'm Tyler Fulton with Cutlass TV News.
Volleyball played their senior night game last week. With more on the story, here's Corey Birch, Brooke Truman, and myself. Senior night is a long tradition in BHS athletics. The volleyball seniors Sioana Asali, Sammy Crow, Brooke Truman, Kennedy Brantley, and Abby Elkins share the importance of their season and what this special occasion meant to them.
It felt very unreal, from going from a new manager sophomore year to being a three-year veteran and managing. It just it doesn't feel real, like this school year has my whole school life went by very fast, and I think it was very fun because bonds with you seniors, and made new bonds with the new upcoming freshmen, adding the freshmen to here, just it feel like more of a family, and so it made me really love this job, managing.
The season is different from the rest in the fact that we're more split up this year to stop the spread from Corona. We have different locker rooms this year, whereas last year we were all just kind of in one big locker room as one big family. I mean, we're still one big family, but we're just a little bit more socially distant. Senior night was amazing. I was a little awkward. I'm just an awkward person, and it was pretty cool to have everyone paying attention to me.
This season means a tremendous amount to me because we weren't even sure if it was going to happen. It's really just helped me soak up every moment and enjoy every time I get to step out onto the court with my teammates. Senior night was really special for me because I felt really honored and appreciated by everybody involved. The parents and the underclassmen just did a really great job of making us feel loved, and the effort that they put into it was just awesome, and that was really exciting.
Senior night was a good experience for me. It felt good to be honored. And we played good all over, like everywhere. It was a great experience too.
This season means a lot to me because it's my last ever volleyball season, and we're just trying to make the best we can during COVID. And I'm just having a lot of fun with my teammates and playing as long as we possibly can. It means a lot to us because, we've practiced a lot, and it just means a lot that we've gotten to play as many games as we have, even through all of this COVID madness. And it's weird having a limited crowd and not having our student section, but we're trying to make the best that we can, and we're just trying to adapt to everything that we're given. Senior night was a really good experience. I felt very appreciated, and we had a really good win against Raytown, which was really fun, and my fellow teammates and underclassmen did a really good job of making us feel celebrated, and it was just a lot of fun. It was emotional, obviously, because it's senior night, but it was just a really good atmosphere, and I wouldn't change it.
For Brooke Truman and Corey Birch, I'm Catherine Eager with Cutlass TV News.
Belton offers a few fun places that are seasonal. Here's a montage by Tyler Fulton and Mason Fulton. The boys' swim team is going swimmingly well. Here's more on the story with Caleb Kormanik and Austin Farrow.
With the varsity boys swim season off to a start different than last, Coach Kellner shares about what that looks like.
Well, obviously, we all the summer leagues in the area got canceled, so we had a handful of kids that would swim on a summer team, and they lost that. It actually cut short our middle school season, which feeds into our high school program, so all of our freshmen didn't get their full season in middle school. And then, we've had kids being sent home from school with symptoms, may not be COVID related, or getting quarantined because they've been too close to someone that's tested positive. So we've had that. And then the big thing, what we're doing to help keep the kids safe, is we spread them out in practice. So we're starting kids from both ends of the pool. So it's a lot more kind of paying attention for the coaches to make sure we're getting them told on both sides. So we finally got some whiteboards put on both sides, so they know what they're doing, instead of us having to run back and forth and tell them each time. And our number one goal is just to improve times each as we get through the season. Obviously, our kids, we want to get back to state. We've already got a diver qualified. We got 2 divers that got consideration scores, but we're hoping to get some relays back so we can take a big group of boys and enjoy that experience. And then we also want to compete for the conference title. So the big rival there for us is Raytown. They're pretty talented, but we've got more numbers. And we're going to have home pool advantage this year since we'll be hosting it. So we're hoping that'll help our favor. And then our divers, since they don't have any, is going to be a big boost as well. And that's, I think I got my leadership group is, instead of being one person, it's a group of 6 seniors. They're not any one better than the rest. It's they all take on the leadership roles together, and they've all got their own strengths, but they decide as a group on things, and they're very cohesive. And I think our shirts this year say it well. Our shirts will say "Swim and Die Family" because that's what the boys think they are, the family, and probably the closest group I've had in the 13 years I've been here.
Starting off their second season of swim, here are Colin McIntyre and John Labby comparing the differences from this and last season.
COVID this year was more of a difficult time because we're used to swimming all right up against each other, swimming with each other, talking right next to each other. But with that, we've had to spread out. But I think we've found a good solution for that. So I think we found something that really helps. My goals for this year is to basically just have the medley relay get as far as we can, or the free relays, whatever Keltner decides to put me on, and just swim as hard as we can and try and go to state. I like this year that we have more stronger seniors than last year. Last year we only had the 2, and this year we have 6 of them that are all cheering us on and encouraging us every time.
So the coronavirus hasn't really affected our swim. It's made the amount of teams at swim meets a little bit smaller, so there's less time in between races. But other than that, we're still swimming and everybody's doing fine. So for me, for swim this year, I would like to go to state for every event, at least get consideration in all of them. And so right now I'm just trying to put more weight on myself for practice so I can get to that spot I need to be.
With Austin Farrow, I'm Caleb Cormanic with Cutlass TV News.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week, and as always, Carpe Diem.